Example of what I'm talking about. Look at it. It's just the bloody smoke's coming straight back inside. Fucking useless. Really is quite depressing. Anyway, I will fix it. Stubborn like that. Okay, today I'm gonna show how I make bannock bread. In this one I'm going to use the Khorasan flour. In this one I'm going to use Khorasan flour. It's lovely stuff. Plain white flour, sugar, raisins, and I'm going to use some lemon zest. So let's get busy. In goes your plain flour. A little bit more. Anyway, the rest of it's pretty good. So in goes your Khorasan flour. And it's starting to go a bit mouldy. I need to use it up. Use quite a lot. I haven't made a sweet bannock in ages. I've just been making the savoury sorts of ones with basil and garlic. Now I'll just grind it up a bit, get any lumps out. Alright, that's pretty nice. Okay, now sugar, brown sugar, plenty of sugar. It's going to be like a scone or scone when it's finished. Then a good handful of, these are raisins I think. You can use sultanas or chop up some apple, I'll put apple in before. Right. Now, baking powder, because this one's going to be quite big, just going to use the back of the fork. 1, 2, 3 of those. A little bit for luck. Don't want to go too mad with the stuff because it's got a bit of a funny taste, but it makes it right. And then lemon zest. Just give it that zing. Might not have enough water, but I've just boiled some from the river. Well, not that river, the stream around the back. And just pour your water in. Give it a good old mix. And there we go. Now, I'm just gonna... Okay, now the next part of the operation is to set up the fire. Now I've just boiled water, so I've got some nice embers from where I was boiling water. It's just these embers you want. Take my... Take the grid system away. Another thing, if you're out, you need to get a couple of nice sticks, just for like pokey sticks, because it's so handy just having a little pokey stick. Now what you want to do is just spread these embers out, break them down a bit, and get them into sort of like a nice flat base. And these big sticks, just cut them to one side and they'll probably catch fire in a minute. But after this is cooked, goes the pan. Now, I've probably seen this before. I like to use rapeseed oil because it's golden and it gives everything a nice golden colour when it's cooked. Probably too much oil there, but never mind. Just give that a couple of seconds to heat up. I think that should be heated up enough so it runs quickly across the base. Nice base, crispy biscuit base. And then you pop in your dough, just like so. Now you want an enamelled pan, I've found are the best. Pop the lid on and leave it for 20. Okay, let's check this out. Oh, sounds pretty good. Right, as you can see, I've browned it a touch, but that's alright. I'll just cut that piece off. Right, in for another sort of 15 minutes. That was about 15 minutes. Another 15 minutes on the other side, and that'll be our handsome. Here's the finished bannock. Looking pretty good. Very hot. Very tasty, sweet, lemony. Crunchy. Yummy. Definitely recommend it. If you ever go, I don't know, wild camping or whatnot, definitely recommend it. Just know. So today we're putting in the window, and this is the top beam which you just put in. And now I'm going to offer up the window. Here you go, Dan. That goes in. There we go. Alrighty, so it fits in there pretty good. Now I've got some timber pegs just to peg it up and hold it there. Trying to get it in a bit don't know if it likes that either. Yeah. Shot from it, I think. It's a video. Proper job. I just need to flatten it out a bit. That should be pretty good. Got it from the inside. Boyfriend. that's the bottom one, no, top one. Top one. Oh, I should have done too much now.
I knew it. I knew you should have just hammered it in, mate.
I know, that's what I wanted to do. I thought there was loads left on that, but never mind. I could have drilled that and put a peg in it, wooden peg, but to be honest, got loads of nails. She's nailed in it. Yeah, anyway, that's the window in. Where's that going, man? Where's it going? Nowhere. Buzzing. So now, next job, dude. All these bits are clad in. These little tiny nails. And we'll just continue this all the way up. Time at the Spamyard. Halloumi cheese, tomatoes, noodles, and an omelette of some description with all sorts in it. Was it odd having it? Peppers, onions, chorizo, Spanish sausage, and yeah, some other bits and bobs that I can't really remember.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms, that was it. Spot on. Happy days, mate.
Oh yeah.
Here's the front face, almost finished. It's all a bit rickety, but never mind. That's what I've got to work with. These are like half rotten, but once they're painted up they'll be okay. The windows in, it's really sturdy. I've chocked it in. They're beat in so hard they don't even move. So I'm pretty stoked with that. And now next job is this up here. As you can see, that's going to continue all the way up there, and then the little bits in between, I'm just going to run clay down in between them. So what I'm going to do is take all the earth off the top, move it all back, and just have a stone chimney that's really massive and wide. I thought this technique about putting this on top and getting it to draw would work, but it doesn't. It just doesn't do anything. This is what I did yesterday. Putting all these. Now, there's a few air gaps in between here, but I'll get some clay and fill that with clay. All the way down, smooth it down. I'm quite chuffed with that, to be honest. Here we are, back at the Spamyard. Today we've been fitting this window, and it's been very difficult. So first of all, because it was just a piece of glass, we had to make dovetail joints either end, and then a housing joint into the sill, the window sill, like we've only just finished. It's been a right pain, to be honest. It's been really difficult because these pieces of wood, the round ones, have obviously got knots and all sorts of business going on, so it's really difficult to get it to line up. Dan, explain in your most eloquent words, without swearing, how today has been.
A right pain in the backside.
There you go, right pain in the backside for both of us. Dan has also, whilst I was cutting the dovetails, denailed all this pallet timber, which will act as the cladding in these open panels. So that's ideal. Right now what I'm concentrating on is these bits here. to the top, up to the top of the window, up to there. And then right, the sun is setting, and this is what I've been up to this afternoon. Put the window in today and done all this cladding up the side. So you can imagine what it's going to look like when, you know, all that's clad with the same sort of like nice linear pattern. You'll look really smart. Well, I've got the cladding up on that end face. Now the next job, I've missed a bit there in that top corner, and then it's a piece of sort of what do you call it, fascia board. Yeah, then I've got to make up a fascia board. So there's the finished article. Little bit to do down this end here, but I found a nice I think they're called corbels out of the fireplace, so I'm going to clay that in. A few more rocks around the back there, clay all that in. Should be nice. That's that face done. Put a bit of tarp for flashing at the moment, just to keep it nice and dry inside. And just go in. This is what I was doing yesterday. Fitting a little shelf, and that's all backfilled with straw. As you can see, I'll probably put in another little shelf in here. On the bottom is cob. When that dries out, it should be lovely. Sun streaming in. So the next few days I'll be doing backfilling all that full of straw, and the other side, get to the top up there. I'll leave the top section because I need more bits of wood. I'm just using the little tiny pieces of wood I've got left. I'll be fitting this window, getting all that framed in, and today's job is back here. I'm going to put slate hanging across here, rows of slate, and then put cob and slate over the top of the cob to hold it all in, and that will just make it airtight. Should keep it a bit warmer and stop any smoke going in. It comes from the chimney. And then the next job after that is to pull all this down and rebuild the chimney. So I've got a lovely bucket of cob mixed up. Got my slate tile with 2 holes drilled in it. So I'm going to attempt to backfill this with cob and then lay a slate on over the top to hold all the cob in basically and keep it waterproof. So that'll make this airtight then. So that's the plan. Right, there's one in. Now to do about another 15 across there, and then the next level, and then the corner. Well, we probably won't do the corner. I'll finish it all off with flashing. What do you call it? Fascia board. So, game on. Three slates up, and there's the cob all in behind. So I've got that layer of slates on, and the next layer of cob. Now I'm going to walk up and find some more slates, because I can do like up to there. Okay, light's fading again, just the fact the sun has set. And here we are, a slate wall. It's all really random, and I kind of like that, because each slate was a different size. They're all just broken bits I found. I think it works pretty good. Looks pretty rustic, doesn't it? Which is the idea of this place. It's a little rustic sort of cottage. Spot on. At some point I'm going to chuck a load of mud on the roof and have a green roof, and then chuck grass seed on top of that. I've got to get this flashing. Here is the completed slate clad wall. I think it looks cool. Really random, but I like that. My next job is a chimney. Gonna mix up cob this time and set it all in with cob, make it much higher. See how it. You're about to witness one of the best things that's possibly happened in my whole life. I built a chimney that draws really well. Look at it. It's beautiful. Let's look up by there. All I've done is just make it really wide and open like that. So now I'll extend that up to sort of the roof ridge line, and that's it. About another 5 buckets of cob tomorrow, and my chimney works. Absolutely buzzing. Look at it, just flies out. Oh, I think it's moving in day. I think I might get my sleeping bag, pull the door down, light a big fire, and sit in my smokeless house. Buzzing. I'll get it cooking in here tonight. Right, so finish the chimney, put that window in, put a door on. Biff baff bosh, I'm in. 2 days. Saturday tomorrow, and then Sunday. So I've got the weekend to do it. 2 days to fit a window, fit a door, and finish the cob around the chimney. Game on. These are tales from the Spamyard. This is truly the first tale from the Spamyard, as the fire works. There's no smoke coming in here. I'm just sat in here with a fire. It's a bit nippy because the door hasn't been fitted yet. Bloody can't get the service around here, can you? You know what I mean? Anyway, the door fitters will be in tomorrow, i.e. me and me Bodger, which is me as well. Anyway, these are tales from the Spamyard. This tale is about Polventon Bay. Now, you won't find Polventon Bay on your maps. It may be on there, and it may be, say, Polventon or another name. This name is synonymous with many things, like Boogie Board Bay and things like that. Spot M, maybe. Now this Polventon Bay had its name changed for some reason to another name. And this is my rendition of the story of why Polventon Bay became Mother Ivy's Bay. There was a big fleet in to catch the herring that year, and the pilchards, and the mackerel. And they'd had a very good year. All the holds were full. The Spanish were going off with full holds, the Cornish had full holds, everyone was happy, and there was good fun and laughter in the local establishments between Spamyards and the Cornish. Good laughs were had, and Spamyards went off happy. Now the Cornish had too much fish, and they said to Lord Harlan, "Oh, Lord Harlan, we got too much fish, sir. But you know, you're the lord of the land. If we take too much, then we're taking off you, good sir. That's very honourable of you to come to me with such a thing. Have the fish brought to my house, and we'll see what recompense can be made." So this is excess of fish. And so Lord Harlan decides, I'm going to plough these fish into my land and make my land very fertile. Now these fishermen, they can't take more than what the lord of the land requires of them, so they've taken what they could. But they also said, "Look, it's going to be a harsh winter, my lord. Can we take some extra fishies?" To which Lord Harlan boasts, "Ha! You think I'd have you profit off me? No, you've had your harbour use, and yes, you've paid your bills. Good day." And so the next day he planned to plough all these fish into his land. But the local witch heard of this business going on down here, and she went and knocked on his door with a small cane. Lord Harlan came to the door. "Good evening. Why do I have a witch at my door?" "You wants to be careful there, me handsome. These are good people. You should give ye some of they fish, or terrible things will happen to ye." "My lady, terrible things have happened to me. I appear to be here. Maybe it won't be to ye, my lord, maybe to your sons." Lord Harlan had 3 sons. I won't go into the details. The only details we will go into is this. There was an eldest, a middling or middle son, and a youngest. And she said, "You better be careful, me handsome." He scoffed at her. "Silly old woman," and cast her back out into the cold. So she went back to her house. A few months went past, say 9-10 months, and Lord Harlan's eldest son was out in the field, and he came off his horse and cracked his head on a big rock and died from a broken skull. And Lord Harlan was mortified, all the family was mortified. And there was the witch stood outside the church. She wasn't really a witch, she's just an old lady who knew loads of stuff. And if she lived there long enough, and you look at the surf down there in the winter, when the storms are in, you know a lot of stuff, because you know stuff. Just from watching the place. This is Polventon Bay. We haven't got to the punchline. And so the next year was a good year. And she said again, look, you should give your excess cash to the people. You're a man, you're a lord, you own all this land, you own the docks, you own so much land around here. Wouldn't you just give some fish back? You must have earned enough profit. No, my lady, now I plough him back into my field. And his favourite field, again, he ploughed it back in. And it's all to do with the one field as well, where you can't walk across it without mishap happening unless you've said your piece. Anyway, so his middle son, his oldest son is now dead, was just walking across the field as normal to milk the cows, and then 2 cows just picked up and started running, and then the whole herd started running, and they mowed him down in a fit of rage, and all the cows trampled him into the ground, and he was dead. And Lord Harlan was mortified. He went to the hospital, to the church, and buried him in a grave, you know. And so now all he's got left is his youngest son. And you know, he's thinking about this witch. He's like, this witch is like basically cursing me. Even though the witch is just being a witch, like a seer. She sees things in the mists, in the surf, in the time, and says, look, see what I see. There are things to see. And so another year goes by. He's now kind of gutted, Lord Harlan, you know, but he's a very ambitious sort of man. He's made lots of money. The local folk are still the same old local folk, you know. They're doing their time. They're, you know, playing their games. Not really playing their games. They're working hard, you know. They're working hard. Now, another year goes by, the Spaniards come in, everyone has a good time down the pub. You know, maybe the Spaniards bring some women, maybe the English got some women. Who knows, you know what I mean? When the Dornish and the Cornish get together, who knows what happens. So, the 3rd year. Fishermen come in with lots of fish. And she says to him, look, if you don't give these fish to the locals, there'll be lots of trouble. There'll be lots of trouble. You just better know. There'll be trouble. Lord Harlan stands up and says, ha ha ha. You can't harm me, old lady. Who do you think you are? I'm the Lord of Harlan. Do you know how much land I own? Round here, lady, You know how much land I own? Well, maybe I do. But land is not important. Life is important. Life is important. And so he's ploughed his sardines back into the field for the 3rd year running. And his youngest son died on the same day his mother died, where a huge wave at Polventon Bay swept them into the sea, and they was washed out and they died at Polventon Bay. And that day Lord Harlin lost his son and his wife. He's all alone. Mother Ivy came back and said, "Ah, told you, I told you. You should listen when I tell you things." Lord Harlan said, "I'll have your head for this." And she says, "We'll see." 6 months later, Lord Harlan died in a tragic tractor accident where one of his sons should have been helping him, and his machinery fell on him and crushed his skull, and he died. And ever since, Mother Ivy has ruled Mother Ivies. That was the story of Polventon Bay, or Mother Ivy's Bay. And those end few are going to be a bit awkward.